Shout out Mandrake. We're checking out the video. Shout out Mandrake. Um, shout out, shout out Risky. You feel me? All right, let's dive into this video. Yeah, I wouldn't dox your Discord dog. Yeah, I purposely hid my screen. Once I get my second martyrs, game on. But let's check out this video. Shooting up schools for attention by Mandrake. Inspired. Let's watch it. Let's dive into this.
Thing you've ever done for attention. For me, it was probably starting this YouTube channel. But some people do something much worse. Like say, for an example, shooting up their school. People shooting up schools for attention is sadly nothing new. This has been happening since Columbine in 1999. They wanted to be on national television and have a fan base dedicated to loving them. And they got that. As Dylan Klebold said himself,
Can I
I know we're going
critique
to have followers because we're so fucking godlike. But
that?
nowadays, it's a totally different landscape than it was in 1999. Kids aren't doing it to be on CNN or Fox News. They're doing it for the TikTok edits, the memes, the
What?
fan art, to have mentally ill 16-year-old
Nah, I don't know if this is true. I wouldn't say that line on Twitch. Hmm. I don't even know if niggas saying they're doing school shootings for TikTok edits. I don't know if that's true, but that doesn't really happen from where I'm from. But I think it's a more um
girls crushing
American
on
thing.
them. In every recent
Yes.
school shooting, every one of the shooters crafts a public persona, knowing they will have a fan base, and every aspect of their life would be looked into and made public.
Uh,
Almost all of them have a manifesto or a diary. They only show certain pictures they want the public to see of them, so people will think they look cool or attractive. To them, this is
trust.
their chance to write themselves into the school shooter canon. Their one chance to be amongst their idols, like the Columbine shooters or Adam Lanza. They want a piece of that TCC pie. So today, I'm going to be looking at a few school shooters that I think perfectly showcase this. Salvador Ramos, the perpetrator of the Uvalde shooting. On May 24th, 2022, after an argument with his grandmother, he would shoot her in the face before driving to Robb Elementary School. There, he would walk into a classroom and kill 19 children and 2 teachers over the course of 77 minutes. If you know anything about this
Rest in peace to the families that lost their lives and the children and his grandmother. That is actually so crazy. Jesus Christ.
shooting, it's probably the utter incompetence of the police officers, literally standing outside the classroom for 77 minutes, listening to him slaughter kids, probably playing fucking Temple Run on their phones. I think this perfectly
What's a
illustrates how
temple run?
horrible the cops were. The cops said, "Yell if you need help," and one of the persons in my class said help. The shooter overheard, and he came in and shot her. That cop was so stupid, it's almost like a comedy sketch. It would be funny if their incompetence didn't kill real children. During the shooting, Salvador would taunt the students and teachers and write LOL with the blood of children on the whiteboard. I seriously hate this guy so much. He reminds me a lot of that pretending to be crazy video. He wants to be seen as some heartless, evil psychopath, and you can't let him be portrayed as that. That's what he wants. That's
But it's mainly America because you see a lot of information about shootings on America. I know it happened in Canada too, certain places, and I'm not really sure of the other popular places that happens, but it just mainly happens in America. But let's continue with the
That's
video.
why he did the shooting. He wants the attention. He wants to be the bad guy. I think this picture of him totally showcases this. This is how he wants to be portrayed. He's sucking in his cheeks. He's doing some e-boy pose. He's flexing his neck
That's a
muscles.
keyboard
This
too.
isn't what he actually looked like. This is what he looked like. And unless he's Michael Jackson, he edited his skin to be whiter. He actually edits his skin to be white in every single photo he takes of himself. This photo is basically unrecognizable as him. It's the photo he'd use to groom girls online. He also set it as his phone wallpaper. How pathetic and narcissistic do you have
It's
to
actually
be to
so
do
crazy.
that? Let's take a look at his internet activity before the shooting. The social media he'd frequent the
This is
most was
Yubo.
Yubo, which is
Jay,
commonly described as Tinder
this is
for
fucking
kids. That
Yubo.
sounds like a really bad idea. His username on there was the biggest op, and he'd spend most of his time harassing little girls. Hi Blank, are you going to ask me how I got your number? Answer me. You're going to regret not doing what I say. Biggest op here. You can tell he thought he was so cool and sinister for doing this, but the girl just
That
didn't
was America.
respond.
Man,
Yeah.
that is sinister activity, is what that is.
He sent those messages to an underage girl because she was ignoring him. Hey, I'd worship you.
This is
Want me
Yubo.
to? Are you a celebrity now? Go jump off a bridge. If we just released embarrassing stuff about every school shooter, we'd have a lot less of them. I promise you that. Leak their search history and their embarrassing
I
messages.
actually disagree with that because it would be more if they're embarrassed, they would literally be more adamant in trying to do it the same day or the next day because they'd feel you're playing in my fucking face, so I'm just gonna sort this out. Like, I'm gonna deal with you right now.
with women. There's actually a lot of screenshots of him being rejected by women. You're my new obsession. We should hang out. Where you at? I'll be in San Antonio in a few weeks. Why? What do you mean why? I'm gonna go there soon. Okay. So what are we gonna do? I'm bored. Anything fun over there? No. I think me and you would be so good together. I don't
I'm
take
on my
no
way.
as an answer. I'll
I'm
see
on my
you
way,
soon.
baby.
I don't know how. You look like. So this is awkward. I'm already 18, but I'll tell you in 3 hours. What? Yeah, what about it? Turned 18 May 16th, but I have something to tell you. Okay, bet. I'll tell you soon. Okay, go. Ugh, you're annoying me. There's no point. Trust me, not right now. Before 11 I will. Something that Salvador loved to do was to say something like, I have something to tell you, but then he just wouldn't say what it was. This is something annoying children do. He was really hoping they'd be like, no, please tell me. But everyone he did this to just didn't care. Fun fact, did you know he was bullied throughout middle and high school because he'd goon in the middle of class? He recounted the bullying in more detail in another note. I have been bullied / harassed my entire school career. Slapped with Germex, tripped, punched, picked on, pushed down the stairs. I was getting bullied because I started beating my dick in 7th grade. Have you considered not?
To be honest, fuck people that bully other people. I've been I can relate to that situation a bit, but that doesn't mean he should have grown up to be a school shooter. And I don't know why he was beating his his dick in class. I don't understand, but it seems like he had a troublesome past, but that doesn't excuse what he did.
Beating your dick in the middle of class? I mean, I don't support bullying at all, but what
Feel
did you
bad for
expect?
him, yeah.
He was such a total edgelord on Yubo. Everyone knew him as that school shooter guy. He'd randomly show people videos of him killing and abusing cats, constantly post pictures of guns,
That's
and
so
threaten to rape and murder people.
I guess everyone's word deserves to get raped then. I guess.
No, just you, buddy.
He'd get banned a few times, but would just make another account. He'd also claim to have scars on his face from cutting it. Corpse husband ass. On March 14th, he'd post 10 more days on Instagram. When one of his friends asked if he was gonna shoot up a school, he responded, no, stop asking dumb questions. You'll see. Something that really stands out to me is how it seems like everyone around him was just so sick of how edgy and attention-seeking he was. Take this as an example, when he randomly sent his gun purchase receipts to someone. Guns are boring. No. This guy did not give a shit. A few days before his attack, he would begin harassing a girl on Instagram, begging her to repost his gun pics. Hey, you gonna repost my gun pics? What? What? What your guns gotta do with me? Just wanted to tag you. I'm so confused. But why? I don't know. Be grateful I tagged you. No, it's just Gary for real. How? I barely know you and you tagged me in a picture with some guns? Ugh, I guess. Hey, hello? I'm about to. I'll text you in an hour. Okay. But you have to respond. I got a little secret I want to tell you. I might be taking a nap because I'm really sick, but if I'm awake I will. Bet. I'ma air out. What? Hi. This guy is physically incapable of having a normal conversation with a woman. Why would a random girl you don't know repost pictures of your guns? The day of his massacre, he texts a 15-year-old girl from Germany. I'ma tell you right now, hold on. Waiting for this bitch. I'ma do something to her right now. Oh my god. She's on the phone with AT&T about my phone. It's annoying. Crying emoji. What? I just shot my grandma in her head. I'm gonna go shoot up an elementary school right now.
What the
Cool.
fuck?
She'd actually end up deleting that cool and replacing it with, I just saw the news, because she was scared she'd get in trouble for not reporting the messages. But honestly, I don't blame her for not taking this guy seriously. He was such an edgelord who constantly says stuff like this for attention. And she was 15. Also, her response was kind of funny, I can't lie. Of course, the last person he texted was a 15-year-old girl. So, by now, I think I've totally destroyed the perception he wanted of being an evil, psychopathic badass. He was just an edgelord, and everyone around him was just so sick of his shit. Now, on to the next example. Samantha Rupno, the perpetrator of the Abundant Life Christian School Shooting. On December 16th, 2024, she would bring 2 of her father's guns to school. She would head into a bathroom and post a picture of her on the toilet doing the OK hand gesture, as well as a link to her manifesto on Twitter. She would then shoot and kill a student and a teacher before taking her own life. So, remember how I said she posted a link to her manifesto? She forgot to make it public. She forgot to make her manifesto public. It was a Google Docs link, and if you clicked on it, it would ask you to request access. And obviously, she wasn't able to give you access. The only reason why we even have the manifesto is because some Twitter investigator messaged her internet boyfriend and got him to screen record it. Speaking of her internet boyfriend, after the shooting, he'd make a series of tweets blaming society for Samantha's shooting. Make her feel isolated, make her do this. You are all horrible people, every single one of you. If you ignored people picking on her, it's your fault. If you weren't nice to her, it's your fault. Oh, and especially her fucking father. Lock that piece of shit up. Fuck did I do? As soon as public photos of Samantha got released, many people would assume she was trans. Her boyfriend would spend much of the few days after the shooting telling people she wasn't trans and was indeed a biological female. After every shooting, two things are guaranteed. People will say the shooter was transgender or Sam Hyde, sometimes both. Her boyfriend would end up claiming that the released pictures of Samantha were edited to make her appear uglier. He'd post this supposedly unedited photo of her. His girlfriend shot up a school, and he's concerned about people thinking she was ugly. He was more concerned about having an ugly girlfriend than having a school shooter girlfriend. And this has to be the worst way to find out your girlfriend was catfishing you. She obviously put her photos into an AI to make herself appear prettier, which is honestly really sad. This unedited photo is clearly edited. Taking a look at her manifesto, it's a total nonsensical mess. I really have no idea what she's saying. She constantly refers to a revolution. You're not Lennon, you're a school shooter. She said she got the guns from her own father's stupidity, that he's abusive, and she was thinking of ending her own life. But she decided to kill people at her school because it would be better for evolution? I think she meant to say revolution here. To give you an idea of how poorly written it is, it begins with hatred, something everyone has gotten. In a sense, some people think it's pure nothing, but because of the hate they make, it ends up killing them without knowing it. Which, go right ahead, I don't mind, but kinda do at the same time. You are just simply nothing but scum to this world, or to even think about. Nobody should want you or your body in any way. I have no idea what this means. Like, seriously, what is she trying to say here? But with that being said, I wouldn't say she actually did this attack for attention. I think it certainly played a part, but she did it more so because of the hatred she had for people and her intense depression. The only reason I'm including her in this video is so the next two make sense. Solomon Henderson and Desmond Hawley. I couple these two together and I dub them the simp duo. The reason for this being, they both had a crush on Samantha. Let's start with Solomon, the perpetrator of the Antioch High School shooting. On January 22nd, 2025, he would post the manifesto, as well as his diary, online. Before shooting and killing a fellow student, he would then take his own life. He attempted to livestream the shooting, but thankfully, his cellular data was so bad, the livestream kept cutting out, nothing graphic was shown. His plan was to kill at least 10, so he would have killed more than Audrey Hale, the 2023 Nashville shooter. The reason for this being, he didn't want a transgender having killed more people than him. Originally, he had planned to wait until his 18th birthday, so he could buy better weapons and equipment for his massacre. But he began to get insanely paranoid he'd be arrested before his shooting. This is partially because of his habit of downloading, Club Penguin videos, which got him a visit from the police. I'm not joking. A few months before the shooting, he brought a box cutter to school and threatened another student. This got him in legal trouble, and the day of the shooting, he had a court hearing, which determined he'd be unable to purchase firearms when he became an adult. Now, you really wouldn't expect this guy to be talked about still, a year and something later. He was a loser, pedophile that failed in nearly every possible way. But I still see people talking about him and making edits of him, like, a lot. So why is that? Well, he did a variety of attention-seeking tactics. The first one was making a manifesto. I can't even say the name of it without getting banned from YouTube. I don't think there's a single page in it without a slur. The entire thing is basically just a self-hating black guy hating himself for 50 pages, interspersed with unfunny Soy Jack Party memes. He calls Samantha a saintess and reveals she actually followed him on Twitter. Apparently, he told Samantha to record her attack, which got her internet boyfriend really mad at him, making a few tweets about how horrible he was for saying that to her. This part in his manifesto is pretty funny. Brown people hate me, women hate me, Pole hates me to an extent, and I just want to cry in a corner in my bedroom. Oh my god, Pole hates you? It's over. There's a Q&A section inspired by Brenton Tarrant's manifesto. In one of the questions, he name drops a bunch of famous people, hoping they'll mention him. Is there a particular groups or people that radicalized you the most? Candace Owens, Ethan Routh, Nick Fuentes, Turkey Tom, Ruben Sim, Mr. Beast, Cobson Talks, Wayne Lampright, iDubbbz, Destiny, Hassan Parker. Now, to anyone that's not stupid, this was obviously a ploy for attention. But sadly, there are a lot of stupid people who took this seriously. His plan worked. Just recently, a leftist YouTuber made an entire video blaming Turkey Tom for the shooting. If you're that chronically online, you believe Turkey Tom has a kill count, you need to log off. Now, onto his
Fight these
journal.
people.
Most of it consists of art of various killers, and venting about his personal life, like his abusive mother. There's also an ungodly amount of pictures of him. I seriously believe he's the school shooter with the most pictures, and almost all of them are so edgy. Posing with guns, wearing a Burzum or Negative XP shirt, cosplaying different shooters, pulling up shitty memes on his phone and showing the camera.
Copson will always be a gem. Copson will always be a gem.
Obviously, he knew people would find these funny or memeable and post them online. I hate that his plan worked. I hate whenever I see him on my feed. He claimed in his manifesto he wasn't seeking attention, but obviously he was. You don't have an entire manifesto diary and post that many pictures of yourself when you don't want attention. Here's a personal anecdote of how pathetic this guy was. While I was reading through his journal, I noticed he called someone a groomer, and this someone had the exact same username as one of my friends. So I ended up messaging my friend, asking if it was just a coincidence or if it was really him he was talking about. He told me it was indeed him. It turns out Solomon would obsessively message him trying to be friends, but my friend would just ignore him because he thought he was really unfunny and annoying. Solomon got mad about this and put him in his journal as a way to get back at him. I asked my friend why he never told me this, and he said to me, "Well, I just didn't think it was that important," which is just brutal. He didn't find him important enough to mention that to me in the past year. We're gonna end off this video with someone you probably never heard of. Desmond Hawley, the 16-year-old perpetrator of the 2025 Evergreen High School shooting. On September 10th, 2025, he would shoot 2 students before ending his own life. The students would survive, but in critical condition. 2 minutes later, Charlie Kirk would be assassinated. These 2 events are totally unrelated. It's just one totally overshadowed the other. I had no idea this even happened until doing research for this video. Before doing the shooting, he'd take a few edgy pictures of himself with the revolver he'd use. During the shooting, he'd wear a recreation of Dylan Klebold's Wrath shirt, a copy of a copy of a copy. Anyways, that's all for today's video. If you liked it, please become my slave for $5 a month. You can get my
What?
videos a day early and other
Bro, this nigga needs to chill with that shit. You should chill with that shit. Yeah, day 13. Okay, this video was pretty interesting, but it's just like, I don't know, man. It was kind of weird, but I don't even know what to say. Fuck, it was kind of weird. I don't know. Shout out Mandrake for the video. The school shooting and the like. This shit was weird as fuck.